Hi, my friends. Welcome to Inside the Minds of Authors. I'm DC Gomez, your host, and also an indie author. I'm thrilled you're joining me today for another fun interview with a passionate author. We're going to kick off this show with an exciting reading, so let's get started.
My name is Nicole Maltezaki. I am 18 years old. I'm going to be reading a chapter from my book called My Grandpa. It is a small one and is one of my favorites. And it touches many subjects, but I think the main ones are like death and loss, which I think are very common. So I'll start. Here we go. As long as we love each other and remember the feeling of love we had, we can die without really going away. All the love you created is still there. You live on in the hearts of everyone you have touched and nurtured while you were here. This is one of the many quotes from Mitch Albom's Tuesdays with Morrie that I found absolutely amazing. I believe that it is impossible to actually lose a loved one that way. No one ever really dies unless forgotten. And the more people you've touched while you were here, the more difficult it is for you to be forgotten. My grandpa, both of my grandparents actually, were one of those people who had the need to connect with others. They always believed that a happy life comes when you give way more than you could ever take. And that is actually true. There is this Mexican tradition called Dia de los Muertos, which means Day of the Dead. It focuses on gatherings of friends and family members to honor the ones they have lost. It is more like a celebration to honor the dead, and most of the time includes festivals and parades along with the gatherings of families. The Mexicans believe that no soul remembered is ever really gone, and this day is an opportunity, through all the fun they're having, connect with the ones they've lost once more. You see, that's how every one of us should be dealing with death. When you lose someone, it is probably the worst feeling you could ever experience. But what all of us have to understand at the time is that no one ever really walks out on us like that. We never lose anyone. We just have one more guardian angel to look out for us. And if you're as lucky as I am, you have guardian angels here too, who always do the best to protect you. I am sure you have at least one of those. And if you can't think of anyone right now, I am sure you haven't been paying attention. One of the reasons why I always found my grandparents wise was that they both used to live in the moment. We live in a world where everyone is so caught up worrying about what will happen tomorrow night, or even worse, caught up thinking about things that are way over. Basically, we live in a world where everyone is being haunted by time. And the only way to avoid such thing is to stop time. And the only way to stop time is to stop being controlled by it. It is more than logical to want to return to the past, to be terrified of letting go. Believe me, I get it. We want to return to the past because it's familiar. It's a song we've heard before. And it's good to think of it. Those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it. But although we can gaze the past, we can't visit it. It's gone. And we have to let it go. By holding on to something that's gone, we tend to miss out on things that are right in front of us. We always have to keep moving forward. But here's the trick. We don't always need to look ahead. Most of the time, all we have to do is look around to where we are right now and simply enjoy the ride. Both of my grandparents devoted their whole lives to giving to other people. And if you ask me, this is how they've been living on. The thing is, when you'll die, you won't be able to take with you any of the material things that we people spend so much life energy pursuing. You won't be able to take money and power, but you know what you're going to take? Love and respect and memories. Offer to others what you have, and I don't mean your money, but your time, your concern. This is how you get and should get respect, by offering something you have. At the end of the day, the feeling you get when you give to others is the most alive you'll ever be. And this is how you live on. Grief is the price we pay for love, and that's the way things go. But there are some people who bring such a great light into the world that even after they are gone, the light remains. So, to my grandparents, thank you for the light you left behind. Thank you for making my family what it is now, and thank you for making sure the legacy you left behind is worth talking about.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Inside the Minds of Authors. I am so excited today. We have a talented young lady coming to us from Greece. Miss Nicole is joining us on the show. Hi, madam. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I am super excited to have you. I am so blown away when you said you're 18. I'm like, you're 18, you're writing, you're publishing. Cheers, madam. That is absolutely beautiful. And we're going to jump in because I was so moved by your words and this book. I want to know more about it. Tell me, what is the book about? Where did it come from?
Yeah, so I wrote it 2 years ago, 2 to 3 years ago. I was 15 to 16. I was 16. And it's a small self help book called Thank You Notes. So every chapter is basically a thank you note to a particular person in my life. I connect that person with a life lesson that I took from them. And the whole like concept is that there's not a single person that comes to your life without a reason, without like having something to teach you.
Okay, you're 16 and you decided to do a self-help book. I'm going, oh my God, what was I doing at 16? That is insane.
It was weird, actually. I was a typical teenager with a lot of like anger and frustration about certain things going on in my life with like my friends and my relationships with them. I was starting to thinking about what I want to do with my life, setting goals and like figuring out my purpose or something like that. And I remember it started very randomly, as these things often do. I remember coming home from school, going to my mom and saying like very like angry. I was like, I'm sick of some people and they don't get me. I feel like nobody gets me. And I feel like people these days at my age, they don't have values and they don't have this and they don't have that. And I was like exaggerating, as I often do. So I would turn to my mom and I'm like, okay, so you know what? I'm going to write a book because I feel like I have things that I need to say. And it started as a joke. And I honestly like feel that now that I think about it, I had things to say that I felt that they needed to be said and they needed to be heard by some people, which I guess that's where any form of art comes from. But it started out like that. It was very weird. I hadn't even thought about writing. Turns out that I really like it. It's something that I like to do. It turned out to be a book and it's out in the world. And I feel like I'm really exposed to to a lot of people, but it's great.
You did open the doors for the world to come and talk to you now. Let's be honest. The moment you write
Yeah.
a book is the moment that you open doors for everybody to connect in a whole different level. So how has this book been connecting with people?
I was very blown away by the reactions and all that because I was really terrified. It was like I was writing it for myself mostly, even though as I kept writing it, I kept realizing how truly blessed I am, because I was writing about the concept of gratitude and I realized that how grateful I am and I have to be. I hadn't really realized it until I started writing the book. It was like I was trying to say those things to other people and at the same time I was realizing them myself. So yeah, it was very personal. So when I put it out in the world, and I was freaking out, and nobody knew about it, even the people that I was writing, even the people that are mentioned in the book, because as I said, they're about like some family members, some of my closest friends. So very few people knew about it. It was very interesting. I think it resonated a lot with young people mostly because I was very glad to discover that some people resonated with it and they knew what I was talking about in some chapters and they felt like I had a piece of their mind, if that makes sense. I said something that they could understand totally and that they could totally understand. And that felt really weird and awesome. And I was very glad to hear.
You have touched into a generation that is looking for a voice, and that's kind of amazing. So by putting your thoughts, your passion into the written word for them, they were able to connect in a way that they probably couldn't find the words themselves. So yes, it is amazing because you are giving them words. You're giving them a way to express themselves. I love the book is about gratitude. Have you always had that before, or this is new as you started this journey?
No, I like I said before, I hadn't even realized how important like it is as a value. It's amazing. It changes the game. And I hadn't even thought about it. That was the amazing thing. And ever since then, ever since I finished the book, it's very weird like thinking about it because it started out as something else and then it became what it is, like the title, it's thank you note. And as I say in the first page of the book, in the personal note, I think that it's a book for the ones who can't seem to find a reason to say thank you. My goal is to, by the time someone finishes the book, to start realizing that they have like reasons to be grateful. Like I said, yeah, ever since I finished the book, I've made it my quote unquote mission, even though this sounds very cheesy, but it's okay, to make like people more aware of how lucky they are. Because it's a shame that we as people take most of things for granted, and we don't realize how lucky we are until we have absolutely nothing. Gratefulness changes the game. It's that quote that I heard that it says that gratefulness turns what you have to enough. That's completely true. I was really bummed out that I hadn't realized that even earlier.
Okay, sweetie, let's point out the fact that you're still just 18. So you make it sound like I have wasted my entire life and I should,
Yeah.
but let's
No,
be
that's
honest
true.
about this. The fact that you figured this out so early in
Yeah.
life is absolutely a blessing. My heart is out to you because I wish more people realize it, period. Forget the age. So that's amazing.
Yeah.
And
Thank
you're
you.
right. We take our blessings for granted and then they become ordinary. I think that's one of the phrases I have
Yeah.
heard recently is, your miracles were amazing that day, that week. And then 2 weeks later, something else happens and you just forget about it. So
Yeah.
you're practicing this, you're showing people how to do it, you put it into words, you're loving it, which is even better. Tell me, how long did it take you to actually do the entire book and then publish it? How long was that process?
It was about 2 to 3 months. It was a quick process. The funny thing was that the day that I came home from school and I was like yelling and telling my mom, I'm going to write a book. So I sat down and I finished the first 3 chapters in one go. And I didn't change a thing from these. To be honest, they weren't the hardest chapters to make because the first 3 chapters of the book were about my mother, my father, and my sister, which of course I knew what I was going to say, but it was very weird because it hadn't even crossed my mind. It was like, okay, I'm going to do this. And then it happened. It felt like I had things to say and I hadn't had the opportunity so far. And it just blurred them all out. Yeah, it was about 3 months that it was done. Of course, I had the whole process of anything, creating anything, the thing that you put out first, if the idea comes and you're like, oh, this is awesome. And then you hate it and then like, no, I'm not gonna put this out there, it sucks. And then like, okay, maybe this is something, but it was about 2 to 3 months.
Did you decide to self-publish or did you go traditional? How did you publish a book?
Self-published.
Why?
Yeah. On the book there's the name of the production studio that is original. It's from us and it's called the Chicos Productions. It's a dream of my sister and mine also to create this together. She's an artist too. She does stuff with music, etc. And we've said that any form of art that we put out in the world, we will put it under this name. Chico was my grandfather's nickname. I think it is a way for us to honor him because we believe, as I read in the previous chapter, and I think you already got it, we believe that we owe him a lot. Our whole values, our whole everyday life is from our family, and he was the main character.
That is beautiful. I'm excited that you and your sister are joining forces to bring more art to this world.
Yeah.
We need it. We absolutely need it. And you guys are both young and excited about it. So it is beautiful and passionate. Are you working on another book right now?
I'm not. Since thank you notes, I realized that I love writing. It makes like my thoughts like easier to comprehend. So I just, if any idea that comes to my head, I just start writing it, but not as a project. What started as a thank you notes, it has started as a small idea and now it has turned into a small community or something like that, which I get to expand even more. What I mean is, for example, just yesterday I launched a thank you notes inspired brand clothing line. It was inspired from a book. It has like quotes from a book. It has like the whole sunflowery concept that the book has. Don't ask me why and how because I really don't know. It just seemed like a cool idea, and I was like, yeah, okay, why not? And I started working on it for the past couple of months. Told the news to the world. Every month we are giving 20% of the earnings to a different charity. This month we are donating 20% of the earnings to the World Food Program, which is providing food and other assistance to victims of conflict, floods, earthquakes, as well as pandemics such as COVID-19. So that's a new project that I'm very excited about that just started yesterday.
That is an awesome project to have. And why not? Why not brand your stuff? Why not expand that universe? That is absolutely great. I meant to ask you. So now that the book is out, have you told the people that are in the book that you wrote about them? Do they know now?
Yeah, they do. They do. It was a nice surprise. Some people knew just right before I put the book out there. And I was like, but it was very exciting to see the reaction because it was like, okay, I did something and here you go. So they were like, what's that? What do you mean? They were very sentimental about it. They were very nice.
I can honestly imagine totally being moved by the fact that you not only have featured them, but that you're grateful for them. So that is beautiful. So that is exciting that you told them. I was wondering, I was like, did you actually tell them? Do they know about this? What was their reaction? So you did. So as you've been going through this process, you have published a book, you started a brand, you're looking at a life and career in the arts. Who has inspired you?
Obviously, all the all the people that I write about in the book, especially some of the chapters. The last chapter is called My Enemies because I want to get into that because we should be grateful for them too. To be honest, my sister is definitely someone that inspires me. She's 2 years younger than me. I'm amazed about her, as I say in the book, about her immaculate talent, but her humbleness through it all. Like she's the most humble person I know, and she's the most talented person I know, which is very, very amazing. Most of my family have this unique, like, lust for life, for everything. That my mom has this ability to like wake up and make every day seem like it's the greatest day on earth. And it's kind of annoying when you wake up, in the morning and you hear like my mom screaming like, "Good morning, guys." But you get to realize at some point that that's what it's all about. I'm very picky with the people around me, but at the end of the day, I have all the people around me inspire me. That's why I choose to be around them.
That's actually amazing. Most people are not that selective about who they surround themselves, and they tend to give their blessings away because they spend a lot of time with people who are very negative, who are very
Mm.
drama driven. So you spend a lot of wasted energy trying to keep other people happy who are not meant to be in your circle. So you're extremely wise. If you could give a young author an advice, what would you tell them?
That's a nice question. I think I would tell them to first and foremost write for themselves, not write something thinking, okay, will people like this? Don't write something that people want to hear. Write what do you want to say. And at the end of the day, the ones that really resonate with it, they will resonate with it.
That is beautiful. A lot of the times people spend a lot of their energy chasing the market. And sometimes
Mm.
it's hard to keep up with the market because it changes so quickly. So it's a little hard, it can be a little overwhelming. So write from your heart, write authentic. I love it. Where can our listeners find the book? Where can they find you? Where can they learn more about the brand, the clothes? Tell us, how do we get more information from you, Nicole?
The book Thank You Notes is on Amazon. You can find it. It's Thank You Notes by Nicole Maltezaki. You can go to thanksandnotes.com, which is the brand website, and it has like lots of products, and it has the book website there too. You can find also me and the page of the book on Instagram and on Facebook. It's Thank You Notes NM, and I think that's pretty much it.
That is awesome. So our listeners can get more information. They can get motivated. I think it's beautiful because everybody should honestly spend some time writing thank you notes to somebody. You might not put it in a book, but you might want to mail them to somebody. I think that would just make somebody's day.
Yeah, I think so too.
Ah, awesome. If you decided to make another project in there, start a community of people writing thank you notes. I think that would be
That's
fabulous.
awesome. Yeah, yeah. I agree.
So before we go, because I had such a blast with you, I'm so inspired. I was like, I feel like I need to go do something. Like I'm looking around my house, like, what do I need to do today? Because I'm not nearly motivated. We're going to jump into our lightning round. Are you ready?
Okay, let's go.
Easy peasy. Let's see how you do. Juice or sodas?
Soda,
Fruit or vegetables?
fruit.
Nice. Summer or winter?
Summer.
You had to
Yeah.
think about it. Okay. So we're switching gears a little. Let's see how you do with this one. If you could be any animated character in any film, who will you be?
Oh my God. I would be, I know, I would be Scar, the villain from Lion King.
Really? Why?
Yeah, he is my favorite villain of all time. He's the most mean one. I love him. He's genius.
For a person who is absolutely so sweet and bubbly, for you to pick a villain is amazing. I was like, didn't see that coming, but okay.
Yeah, I'm a complex person.
It's all good. We like that. So here is our last one. Let's see how you do. What is your dream vacation spot?
Oh, dream vacation. I don't know, probably somewhere with not a lot of people, like a small island or something in the middle of nowhere, I think. Something like that.
Not bad. Deserted islands are always fun. All good.
Yeah.
So, madam, we have come to the end of our show. Do you have any closing remarks for us?
As I have like my mission statement with the whole thank you notes community is that our mission is to spread thankfulness in a world full of ingratitude. So I think that that's important and for everyone to, realize how lucky they are and blessed they are in their everyday life. So I think that's it.
Aw, absolutely beautiful. To our listeners,
Thank you.
go ahead, check out Miss Nicole, check out the brand, check out the thank you note. It's absolutely inspiring. Go ahead, my friends. Give this episode a like, share it with somebody, invite them to come and join our community. Always growing together. Miss Nicole, a pleasure. And to our listeners, adios, everyone. We'll be back next week with another amazing author. Bye.